Yes, Essendon brought some good players in.
Long and O'Donnell, the two in question. Sydney going to the right of screen. Stafford to go against Somerville for the opening bounce. Grenville off the ground. Bombers kicked a big score earlier today, and Sydney hung on by 2 points after being challenged strongly in the end. Fraser kicks inside 50. Dunkley, one of his trademarks. McRae just tries to give it off. Masiti after it. He was prolific today. And away goes Euskus after some very good play from Dyson, ex-Demon, who also made his mark in the opening match for Sydney. Pryor tries to cut it off. Gray round the corner, and not a good result there. So it's going to be an Essendon kick from half-back.
Troy Gray, of course, played centre-half forward in the first game. He was probably well covered by Chris Grant, a great fillip for the Footscray supporters.
So Stevenson back in towards the centre of the ground. Big fly from in front by Berpikov. Falls free, back into the centre of the ground. A lot of players around the footy. Euskus comes in hard on O'Donnell. Pack of players. Eventually a tap out towards Masiti. Swings back onto his right foot now. Kicks it out into Cockatoo Collins territory. Oh, he's got a paddock. He's also got a player on down the ground. And it finds that player in Barnard. Barnard to Fraser. Back to Barnard. The old one turn. Sets up Cransberg from 35 metres out. Kicks and has pushed it to the left. First score to the Bombers.
Normally pretty accurate. Cransberg off the leg, missed that. Stafford makes ground, takes the mark, keeps it close to the boundary line. Lang pushed out of it. At the back, Hardwick close to the line, and now out of play. And that's going to be Essendon. Oh, I thought that came off Hardwick. We've got John Russo with us, who's been doing a great job all night representing the umpires, but I think we're all a bit surprised with that one. Wilden takes the mark. He didn't play much more than a half, I don't think, this morning, Wilden. He spent most of the second half on the interchange. We talked about him a bit, Malcolm, as we watched this match today, and you thought he was worth a risk, didn't you, from Essendon's point of view?
Oh, my word. I think he can be a valuable player for him.
Let's see if he can kick a goal early on. He's a fair way out, and that's going to be behind. So the Bombers with a couple of points. Cransberg missed an easy one, and that's fair distance for Wilden as Lewis gets it back in.
Lewis now feeds the ball off. Comes back into the middle. Lloyd with those beautiful pair of hands. Matthew Lloyd is now called to play on. Back onto his left foot. High ball 30 metres out from goals. And Andrew Dunkley. Familiar grab. Terrific player, Dunkley. Lewis is caught and unloads and has been pinged for holding, over the shoulder. And Darren Wilden giving that free. So as we look at that, and a pretty quick call, John.
Yeah, the free kick is paid to Wilden for the fend off to the face.
Oh, OK. I've got that wrong twice.
Yeah, so the tackler's come in and Wilden's been fended off to the face, which is a free kick for a high tackle.
Interesting, just that gift from Dunkley. He does that quite often, doesn't he? So Wilden should learn from the last kick. He is a good goal kicker. Noted for that at Fitzroy, had a good season with West Adelaide last year. Lowsmore this time. Oh, that's coming back enough and hit the post. So that'll be 3 points, and up will go the umpire's two hands. And out comes a red flag in surrender. And a short kick-off.
Dyson goes short. Just thinking, Malcolm, wouldn't it be arrogant if you're 2 points behind and you actually aim for the post and hit it as the siren had sounded?
You should get 23 points for that.
Here's Wellman away. Goes towards centre forward Dunkley. Just gives it off to Lewis. He's really made a mark across half-back. Keeps it low. In towards Miles, right in the centre. Just Dyson got in his road for a moment, but now takes the front running. Kicks a high ball to half forward. Hardwick underneath it. On the mark, Lang. Hardwick now called to play on. Just a little bit of danger, but kick was good. Had the legs. Cockatoo Collins was outstanding early against Geelong today. He turned McKinnon inside out and a couple of other opponents. Rocker. throw up, so they'll get this moving quickly. Little give by Wellman to Doolan. Hardwick again.
They've got such an even list, haven't they, Essendon? Even the recruitment of Darren Wielden just gives them another player they can put in with senior experience.
And Doolan goes wide to Pryor. And they're really just chipping it around at the moment to Grenvold. And the player on loose is Barnard. Great kicking at the moment from Essendon. Kransberg just can't hold that one. That was pretty hot. Now under pressure, gets a kick forward to Barnard and then falls over and will get the free kick. John fell over.
Yeah, he really tried to milk the free kick. I mean, the umpire's obviously a lot closer than we are, but it certainly did look as though Barnard made it look a lot worse than it was.
And ends up with his former combatant there in Peter Kransberg. Kick short. Somerville can't hold it. Cockatoo Collins clever. Back to Masidi. He's such a long kick from a standing start is Joe Masidi. The ball's fisted away. Picking it up here we have Stuart Mangan, a youngster from the Northern under-18s in his first senior outfit. And the kick is now a baller. And there is our American gridiron player training at Essendon.
Dwayne Armstrong, who's, I think Werner Rita also, the discus thrower, had a tryout at about the same time. Doolan's give was good to Masidi. Masidi wide. Lloyd. Huskus, a bit of strength there. Gray, it sits up. He could kick this. Wellman ran him down beautifully. Forced the error. Gave it to Berbakoff to Masidi. Smoking Joe, they call him. Comes out wide. Bombers lead early. 5 points to 0. Little give good. Doolan's on the end of it. That came from Lloyd. Doolan's centering kick, O'Donnell. First game as skipper for the Bombers. Little tap on was very good. Lufak could goal. He's 45, 50 metres out. Goes close, just hooking for extra distance, as so often players do.
Accuracy so important in this Lightning Premiership. With 5 or now 6 behinds on the board to the Bombers, could prove costly.
Whole days of 6 scoring shots, they go out the window when you can hit the post, don't they?
Terrific grab then from Pryor from that kick, and Masidi seems to be running by himself, loose across half back, getting up many possessions.
One thing we haven't seen in this competition is too much tagging. Robert Harvey last night, 20-odd possessions. No one within QE of him.
Yeah, very true, Jared. As we have a lot of players gather on that ball. Some 35 metres from the Essendon.
Tomorrow night, Collingwood to play Brisbane in the first semi-final. And we know that Fremantle has also made it.
We have a blood rule here. And coming off is Daniel McPherson. He's got some blood on his arm by the look of it. Good time for an umpire now, John, to have a bit of a relax, just take the pressure off.
Yeah, he'd certainly be sucking in the oxygen at the moment.
To Lufat. Grenvold with the run of it. A dinky left-handed puts Kransberg under a lot of pressure. He comes back to Donald. His handball finds Masidi. Left foot chip. Oh, terrific mark from Dean Wallace. Very courageous indeed. And Wallace will kick from about 48 metres.
Well, we saw Sean Charles kick about 3 in a row only 15 minutes ago from this very position. In fact, even further out. So certainly a scoring opportunity.
So Dean Wallace lays back, kicks it, starting to wobble now. I think it's missed. And the Bombers yet to get that major score. And they move along to 7 points. Sydney yet to score.
Seymour on the end of it. Wilden put him off. Lloyd tries to run him down. Seymour's handball just missed its target, O'Loughlin. Free kick, though, I think, coming up to Chapman.
It bumped to the head against Wallace, Bruce.
Chapman touched off the boot. Well done, though, by Seymour as he comes out wide. Good kick, gets to Lang at centre wing. Damien Lang. Rangy, racy type. Neat kick, too. In towards Gray. Wellman was with him, off hands. Masidi was there. Oh, very good hands there by Arnott on the up, and reflex there. Berbakoff, who was good today also for Essendon. Kevin Sheedy would love all this. O'Donnell in short. Sean Wellman, one of their prize recruits, really. Kick by Mangan to full forward. Snap by Rocker. It's a behind. Sydney on the board.
Well, we've seen in his few appearances for the Sydney Swans great agility and athleticism in Rocker, and it's no wonder that the Swans have pulled out every nail they can to keep him in Sydney.
McDonald kicks to Wellman from that point. Now switches play. They are kicking fairly short, Essendon, trying to control the game by chipping it around. And once again, that ball ends up with Doolan with a 30-metre kick. Oh, terrific lead. Somerville found plenty of space. Now he goes long. So it's a one-on-one contest here. Wilton from behind tries to push Seymour underneath it. Dunkley support from behind to Lachlan, and Seymour runs it out. Bounces away, second bounce through the centre of the ground and chips short. Very open game of footy as Wade Chapman comes across the ground. He too has a player out wide in Daniel McPherson. Can't handle it. Now recovers onto his left foot, kicks, and is touched on the line.
It's just further to the short kicking game of Essendon. I think they've actually replaced the handball with a chip kick. They prefer the ability to be able to stop and mark the ball. I think they've also abandoned going down the corridor a hell of a lot. They like being in the corridor, then breaking wide.
Masidi, it's a good play by Berbakoff a moment ago. Nice fly, McRae. We know he can thump the football. He's got Rocker in the goal square. He's going in that direction now. Berbakoff back there, Rocker in the front spot. Trying to cut across was Masidi. Well played, Berbakoff. Masidi's hands were good. Hardwick under pressure. Keeps the ball in for the moment. Doolan touches it, so does McPherson. McPherson ducked. Ball still to be won. Tackle there was okay on Fraser, and it's going to be a throw up right in front of the 7 commentary position at half forward right. The rules being implemented as we continue to let you know about those, and we do have John Russo here tonight. So we had David Levins on the first night and Gavin Dorr earlier today. It's the 12th game of football that we've seen in about 28 hours. All the clubs in action. And now at the quarter-final stage, we're whittling it down. O'Donnell from half-back. Centering kick. Good fly, Cransberg. O'Loughlin. Little give. All Mangan in trouble. Well played, Cockatoo. Collins actually got it to Barnard. Lloyd could goal. 50 metres out. Lets loose. It's a beauty.
So an 11-point margin here to the Bombers. Somerville has to stand and wait. Quick kick comes forward. Doolan has to stand and wait. Gets hold of the footy. Great desperation and tap forward. Doolan good enough to recover. Caught again. Pressure good in this early part of this game. It really is now quarter-final, and although a lightning carnival, as a free kick is picked out here.
Clear high contact on the Swans player.
And goes to Arnott. Arnott, Somerville's got his name on it. Gets one hand to it and pushes it across the face. Masidi, comfortable on his left side, comes back. Oh, and Somerville goes as though he's playing in the last second of a grand final and goes right across the ground. We haven't seen that very often. O'Loughlin with the kick back, and it finds Justin Crawford. Crawford with a very short kick. In the back to Gray, not played. Hardwick runs away onto his left foot, kicks out wide. 2-on-1 Lloyd, very good in the air, recovers, does well, the youngster. Lewis comes to assist. Oh, that's terrific play. Oh, marvellous from the young fella. 3-1 at one stage. Recovered beautifully. Dean Wallace runs at the body, not the footy, and then tackles Chapman. She's pretty tight, and this momentum has just lifted in this game as Gary O'Donnell, the skipper for Essendon, comes and just slows play down for a moment or two.
Free kicks paid against Grenvold for the Shepherd. He didn't go for the ball, just tried to keep the Swans player out of the play.
Gee, that's terrific. That's the second one the umpires reversed on one of my calls, but that's good.
Garlick's kick cut off a bit. Now Dunkley forced to kick. Doesn't do it all that often. And misdirect. I guess if you're going to misdirect, better to kick it a bit longer. Lufat. Clever. Good tackle, Dunkley. Going backwards, Chapman. Mangan after it. Gets hold of it. Left foot doesn't go far. Barnard caught by McRae. Masidi got it on the rebound. Taken away now by Maxfield on the ground. Mangan's kick to centre wing. Gray and Wellman. punched away, backhanded, good football by the Bombers. Wellman away again to half forward. Mangan went. Mercedes hurt, I think, at the moment, probably winded. Handball back by McPherson, gets to Lewis. Lewis gets to McRae. McRae can take off. He's got a paddock.
Indeed he has. Now looking at opportunities, touches the ball down once, and he too chips it very close to the boundary line. Troy Gray gives it over to the running Garlick. Garlick can shoot in towards goal, kicks. Oh, it's a lovely kick. It's a goal. It's in fact
Dyson with a goal,
Yeah.
1-7 to 1-2.
Yes, in fact, Kevin Dyson now obviously finished playing with Melbourne. So the big high kick comes, big punch from centre half back. Getting on it is Hardwick. Feed out to Fraser. And Doolan with the run now. Kicks back towards centre half forward. Terrific body work there. I thought it was good body work by Lewis. Johnny, I'd be interested in that. I thought that both players came together and Lewis was in the advantageous position.
Yeah, I'll be interested in seeing the replay, Malcolm. I was actually watching downfield, but the 50-metre penalty's been paid for the kick after the kick of the ball line.
Oh, perhaps he did get him a bit high, and
really the umpire's in the best position there. He's side onto it.
I think the question though is, did Cockatoo Collins come in and create the free kick, or was it actually Lewis? I mean, he had his hand only shoulder high.
Yeah.
And he had the front position.
Yeah, the spirit of the law with marking contests that we're told to implement is if the bloke's prime objective is to contest the ball, then he's allowed to do that. So the thing flashing through the umpire's mind for every marking contest is whether that's the bloke's prime objective.
19 to 8. Essendon leading. O'Donnell over the top. Now Grenvold. Back to half forward. Cockatoo Collins again. 50 metres out. Clever. To Wallace.
This is one of those classic plays from the half-forward flanker where he led his player to the ball. Lewis got close enough to have half a go. Missed it. His man ducked back. The ball came through. And he made it look so easy.
Wallace from 40 misses. So he's had a couple of chances. Neil Curley smoking Jay Mercedes off the ground. Is he all right?
No, he's not all right. He's straight down the room with a doctor with a right leg injury. It's either ankle or knee, and I don't think Kevin Shue will risk him anymore in this game.
Okay, thanks for that, Neil. Mercedes off the ground. Nix, by the way, has come on for Sydney, number 36. For the first time we've seen him. Here's Huskus to Crawford. Good take, actually. Not an easy ball to mark, that one. Crawford's kick's a beauty. Gets to Gray. Normally penetrating Gray. Now goes in the rocker direction. And he might get a free kick here against Berbikoff.
Good to see Justin Crawford getting a kick early. He was the Swans' best first-year player last year. And when you consider that they had such a good group of outstanding young players, speaking of which, we see Rodney Eade and Dennis Carroll, ex-captain of the Swans, on screen. You would have to say that Justin Crawford has a big career ahead of him.
Rocker to kick from about 35 metres out. Just a little push. Didn't really kick through it, did he? Malcolm, I should be asking you about those.
yes.
Disagree.
Oh, no. No, I always think that you should just get a bit more momentum. I think you get more balanced. Nevertheless, ball comes out wide. Somerville sits underneath it and drops it, but will be paid the free kick because the commitment from Gray from behind. And call play on. Will he recall this, surely, John?
No, he won't. He'll only recall it if the player that had the advantage. Oh, he is recalling it. The interpretation we're told to apply is if the player can't dispose of the ball, then we recall it. But he clearly did dispose of it, but just kicked it into the man that was smothering.
Oh, ferocious a tackle then from little Danny Morgan on to Paul Rouvray, and he'll accept the free kick. So 2-8 to 1-3, Essendon by 11 points, and just over 2 minutes to go in this first half.
Good hands.
Actually, Malk, the kick would have been paid because the ball last touched the Swans player, so it would have come back to the Essendon player for out of bounds.
Fraser to Lufat. Now has Cransberg. Oh, really does set up a lovely handball with pace. Fraser screws the ball back. It's coming back beautifully. Wonderful goal.
outstanding goal there for Mark Fraser, who recruited in controversial circumstances, some would have said last season. Probably a little bit disappointed, but has got a big opportunity this year. We didn't quite see the great handball. I've always been a big fan of Peter Cransberg's. He's had a hell of a lot of groin injuries, and one hopes that this year he can remain injury-free, and he'll be a huge asset to Essendon.
3-8 to 1-3. Total attendance for the day is 12,500, so probably about 6 and 6 for this morning and early afternoon session and tonight. Barnard goes deep. Grenvold held up. Good tackle there.
Actually, just Bruce, well, I just had a thought. The ground, I don't know if anyone's mentioned it during all the games, but it is fantastic being that 7 or 8 metres shorter at either end.
It's made a difference, hasn't it?
So speaking to KB, who we all know runs the rules committee, and he suggested that he was in favour of it. So I think you're right, Malcolm. It's a much better ground being shorter here.
Yeah.
Dunkley at the back, down to Grenvold. Wilden with a bit of strength. Wallace on the up, very good. Cockatoo Collins, he's a beauty, isn't he? Second goal, and Essendon have taken a grip on this now. They've dashed away to 4-8 to 1-3.
Jared, can I just ask you about those pockets? How we they're just a bit wider, a bit squarer than what the normal football ground. Do you like it?
Well, I don't think there's a problem with it. When you consider that we had Brisbane that had pretty straight pockets for a couple of years before they changed it, and a number of other grounds. I think the Swans not so much, but a number of grounds in the league are a bit squarish at the ends. I think it's no problems whatsoever. In fact, I think the one thing about the Lightning Premiership has done is it has put to bed a lot of myths that we think about our game.
Pryor gets it from Lufat as the Bombers go forward again in the last minute of the opening half. Wilden had a fair bit of it. Cockatoo Collins, oh, he's killing them. Wallace to get his first. And gives it a big roost. Cockatoo Collins is cutting them apart.
It's amazing what 3 explosive minutes from a talented player can do. Malcolm, you were talking about Ben Allen today for the Dockers. The 3 for most of the game, a little bit quiet, then turned it on for 5 minutes. The game was over. And we could probably say that Shea Cockatoo Collins has been the game breaker in the last 5 minutes.
So in the last 30 seconds of this first half, the 4th quarter-final of this Lightning Premiership. Funny word at this time of the year. Now the kick goes forward. Matthew Lloyd just loses his feet, has to give off quickly. Chapman over it and will accept the free kick for being pushed in the back. So in the last seconds now, and Swans did well in the early part of this quarter, but Essendon have really come back strong. Big fist from Barnard from behind, and there is the siren.
So the Bombers at half-time, 5-8 to 1-3.
Yes, it's amazing what a missed goal can do to your confidence. We saw Anthony Rocker miss one probably a split second before the Bombers got on their roll, and perhaps if that goal had have gone through, the game would be totally different now on the scoreboard. But as it was, the Bombers kicked away with 3 very quick goals. Shea Cockatoo Collins, the instigator.
And as the teams come into their huddles at half-time, because they don't go off the ground here with a 5-minute break for the half-time, we see the scoreline: Essendon 5-8, Sydney 1-3.
And I thank you for 100 years.
He's obviously had a look at the Fremantle side style of footy, and he's injected a little bit into the Essendon team, and they're moving the ball very well in the night game. I don't know how they'll stand up in day footy, but I'm waiting to see Hurd on one half-forward flank, Young Lloyd on the other, and someone at centre half-forward. That'll be some line.
Yeah, something to look forward to, Neil, no doubt about that. Rodney Eade got stuck into his players at half-time. You can see the intensity there. One of the first-season coaches who had success earlier today.
Just looking at the size of the ground, Waverley normally is 180 metres long. We believe they've taken 15 metres off each end, makes it 150. The Sydney cricket ground, that ultra short ground that everyone talks about, is 153 metres.
I've got a feeling it's 15 metres in total, Gerard, which would make it at 165, but I haven't got the tape measure with me. Grenvold's kick towards full forward. Wilden, Fraser, Little handball by McPherson. Sydney just can't afford Essendon to get any sort of a start here. The Bombers, remember, they're the only club to have kicked 10 goals in this Lightning Premiership so far. Oh, that was strong and courageous by Wellman. Keep his eye on it. And here's Dyson, who can go with a long one. He kicked the goal early. That's a great kick. Hit the post. He aimed for it all the way. Wanted the 3 points, Malcolm, and collected.
I think even Malcolm would have dragged him if he aimed for the post.
Yes, and Essendon again used this chip game out of the back with that quick kick-off from that 3-point result from the Dyson kick. Doolan breaks away. Now goes long. Big fly from behind. Terrific mark then. Great timing, McPherson. Out wide. And once again, these youngsters, Dion Miles this is, played 3 games last year. And he chips it now to Troy Gray. Matthew Nix, number 36 on the ground, as you mentioned before, took that nice mark. So Troy Gray taking his time. Can kick the footy, Jared.
Yes, and coming in on his preferred left foot. And with the square ends of the ground, I'm not a mathematician, as we've already found out tonight, but I would think that this angle is a little bit better for him.
So the new haircut at Troy Gray kicks, just floats at the top of the square. Oh, it's over the pack and rolls through for a behind. So the Swans move on to 1-7 and trailing Essendon 5-8.
38-13. Trying to bring it back in. Been explosive Essendon today. Wonder what Kevin Sheedy did with his team between the morning and well, it was actually afternoon and evening. Kept them together, took them back to the club. It was something we talked about throughout the day, how to keep them nice and fresh and fit and ready to go. Dyson just got a bit mixed up there. Pryor, O'Loughlin with him.
I did speak to Jeffrey White after his first game today, and he was saying that they were going back for a swim of the pool. Now, having a look at a couple of the grabs that he took this evening, perhaps that will be the way to go.
Yes, he's over with an interstate club with Fremantle and all staying together. And I guess Essendon would have done a similar thing, even though they're all based here in Melbourne. Dyson away again. It's 5-8 to 1-7.
This kicks forward. Rocker's led in the race for the ball there, working hard underneath his Morgan, in fact, very hard indeed. Now gives off after recepting the free kick. This is Pryor running away from defence. Kicks out wide in the Lloyd direction. Lloyd up. Good contest that. McRae breaks away. Can kick a goal to Maxfield. Maxfield on the run. Shoots and has snuck it through, I think.
Sydney keeping in the match. 2-7 to 5-8. Maxfield, that great finish. Lewis out of the centre. Carousella's come on for the Bombers, by the way. Number 49. So the Swans deep into attack. Wellman to Doolan. Goes back. Stevenson went to ground but got it off to Berbakoff. Didn't have a lot on the handball. Pryor had to sit, wait, and then squeeze it, but did it well to Wellman. This chipping around, as Neil Curley talked about to half-time. Out in the Lufat direction, McRae. Again, plenty of the ball today. Lewis, so casual and nonchalant, but normally a good finisher. Gray's got it. We know he can kick a long way. Another goal here, Jared, just makes a difference, doesn't it?
Absolutely. If Troy Gray could kick this one, and he certainly has the potential to do so, then the game is certainly open for grabs. But I think Troy Gray a better player when he's playing deeper in the forward line. He just tends to get lost playing across the half-forward line. But as we saw a number of times last year, he's a valuable player for the Swans at either end.
It's going to kick from about 49. Just inside 50. Gives it a big hook, coming back to behind. 2-8-5-8. 3 goals the difference. Getting to about halfway through the second half now, 38 to 20.
Wellman makes the lead out wide. That's a beautiful kick. I watched that set play then, and it was just terrific the way they set that up, Essendon. To Doolan, caught from behind. Didn't pump his legs hard enough.
Would that be a free kick, John?
No, it didn't have a reasonable time before being tackled, so...
He ran 4 metres. I think it's interesting the way that Essendon have elected to go back and continue their set plays out of full-back rather than taking the opportunity to play on very quickly.
Yes, very true. Barnard kicks, ends up with Dyson. Dyson goes back long. Essendon players are plenty. Ball falls free to Doolan. Oh, give it off to Stevenson under enormous pressure there from the Swans players. Gray's caught. Oh, bursting through. Fantastic play from Crawford. Hardwick mops up and chips beautifully to Fraser. Oh, over his head, and Barnard calls him out. So Paul Barnard just holds up play. Now kicks long. Somerville underneath it. In fact, all players virtually underneath it as it carried forward with a lovely kick towards the boundary line. This has been all interesting stuff, but that'll be an Essendon free kick. Oh, I've got another one right. Yours, Bruce.
McPherson. Poor old John Russo still reeling for that left hook Gerard gave him a moment ago. O'Loughlin to Gray. Gray again, a long kick, but not accurate, and that'll be Pryor's kick in.
I think the point with the perfect tackle is I think it's a fantastic rule in the making, but there is just so much grey area in it at the moment that it does need development. And I guess the rule says you have to have sufficient time. Now, is that sufficient time for a kick or sufficient time for a handle? Something that I think Peter will take a number of years to really get right.
Oh, there are so many areas of the game that are open to interpretation, and the way the league rules, it says things like reasonable time, so obviously the umpire has to assess what constitutes a reasonable time. Yes, it's great.
Derek Kickett looking on, had such an impact in the first match today. Grenvold's quick kick away. Nice take by Dyson. Just misses the body there. Huskus able to mop up. Sydney enjoying a really good period, I feel, at the moment. Rocker takes the mark. If they could kick it 2 in 2 minutes, it'd suddenly be right there. But Essendon hasn't had a scoring opportunity for a long time.
Gee, that was a terrific jump, that.
Yes, and one suspects that Rodney Eade has passed on your words of advice, because Anthony has taken a Dennis Lilly run up at this one.
And does time it very well. Kicks it magnificently.
Well, a 2-goal game now. Swans really fighting back. They have the breeze, but it hasn't been as effective today as yesterday. It is still swirly, but can score at either end. Maxfield with a quick kick forward, and Doolan uses his body beautifully. Gives it off to Hardwick. Hardwick has players running for him. Barnard. Michael Long now on the ground. And we'll see that famous number 13 shortly, I'm sure. Dean Wallace accepts the chest mark. From about 60 metres out from the Essendon goal. Oh, kicks a very high ball. Terrific body work there from Seymour. It really was good, and got Wilton out the way. Very strong man to do that. Off to Lewis. Lewis on the left foot. He goes wide. And gleefully accepted there by the youngster. Comes back to Maxfield.
Hollands, it is just come onto the ground, Malcolm.
Knocked on by Rocker. Falls to centre-half back area. O'Donnell waits. Now gives it off to Stevenson. Stevenson out wide to Barnard. Paddock in front of him. He really can run a long way. He elects to kick. Back in the centre-half forward direction. Nearly a mark to Lloyd. Maxfield ends up with the football again. Kicks. Big pack of players over the back. O'Donnell, clever tap to Berbatov. Now O'Donnell runs. The skipper leads him onto his right foot. And the kick has too much carried. Oh, no, it doesn't. Dilute that. Gives it out quickly to Cockatoo Collins. Cockatoo Collins from 30 metres out is pushed. And so will therefore take another kick, which is 50 metres, which now puts him into the back row of the grandstand.
That's a new one this year. That's a new one this year. If the player is pushed as he's kicking the football, then the free kick is paid and a 50-metre penalty is awarded, which in this instance puts him on the goal line and straight in front.
So Cockatoo Collins. Much needed goal for Essendon, and his third.
6-8, 3-8. 3 goals to Cockatoo Collins. Lewis, quick kick away. Sydney has to get the next one now. Essendon's responded. Cransberg, O'Donnell. O'Donnell played a big part in getting that goal. Running off half-back, Hardwick. Advantage given, didn't turn out to be that way. Lewis now gets the free kick, runs away. Normally a good kick, not this time. Though Doolan just got a little bit anxious there. Gray, Marshall sits underneath, waits, can't get the left-hand handball away. Stevenson in there. Berbakoff, I think, on the bottom. It is, and Rodney Eade looking on. Tomorrow night, Collingwood play Brisbane in the first of the semi-finals. Gray round the body to fall forward. Oh, good fly from the back by Miles. Gets it back out. Crawford in there. Stevenson. So a reminder that Collingwood to play Brisbane in that first semi-final, and the winner of this to play the exciting and impressive Fremantle in the second semi. Hollands has got it in the pocket. Centering kick. Just sort of slewed off the side. Didn't really have much direction about it. Hardwick chips away to Pryor, who has mopped up a lot. Oh, that's not so good. Dyson attacked it strongly. Hardwick's left-hand handball. Pryor has a free kick coming back against the Swans. Rocker just a bit awkward there. And it's going to Hardwick at centre-half back.
Just while we've got a break, Malcolm, what's your thoughts on the G spot, or the goal spot that Kevin Sheedy has so often suggested?
With the free inside the 50-metre you're talking about?
Yes, if you get a free kick and you're going to go right down to the goal line, would you be better off, or would the game be better perhaps experimenting in this circumstances for one at 35 metres out?
Yeah, it's an interesting concept. Here's Michael Long onto the running ball and has kicked a point. Well, the magic of Michael Long has got us 3 points with his first kick in this Lightning Carnival, as the Swans quickly kick it out, but it's a pretty poor kick, and it's gone to Lloyd. Lloyd off to Fraser. He's quick. He loves taking them on, and from 40 metres out goes at the goals, and he too misses. So 2 points in fact 4 points very, very quickly there for the Essendon side.
McPherson gets it in short, 6-12, 3-8. Goes very wide. Swans 3.5 goals behind now. Rouvray, the ex-Crow, into the centre. Mark taken there by Bloomfield, who's come onto the ground. Dunkley from the front. Good mark. They've restricted Essendon to just a goal, the Swans, in this half so far. Seymour away. A couple of bounces in, straightens it up. Good take by Rocker, but the handball just had a little bit too much on it for Dyson. McRae gets himself into a lot of trouble. Had a fair bit of time to get rid of it and didn't. And both Malcolm Blight and Gerard Healy look at John Russo and say, pay it, why don't you? Barnard from about 70 metres out goes to the pocket. Fly early from Wilden. Good defensive play, though, by the Swans at the back by Dunkley. And it's an Essendon kick to Michael Long. Long normally constructed, not this time. Straight down the throat of Eustace. 22 points. Well, Johnny Russo thought he was having an easy night until he sat alongside Gerard Healy. He's been shell-shocked.
I'm not saying that anything there was a free kick, Bruce, but it was an interesting one in that the ball was between the two umpires. So it was really one of those ones where it was in no man's land.
Oh, Maxfield arches his back. Fraser's going to get him. What a great chase. That is holding the ball, and that is a great rule, John Russo.
Well, that was certainly a perfect example of it.
Now we're giving it off to Pryor. Pryor, neat left-handed handball, then running it through. They really are trying to run it using handball. Ensmo O'Donnell under pressure. Fumbles. Pryor, oh, McRae. Good pick up, then gives it away too easy. Ends up back to Lewis. Lewis, really, as Garlick ran at the football, was confronted by an opposition player. Oh, clever from Luther. Sets up Dolan to Kransberg. Oh, now they really should get something going here. Quick kick forward. Taps on. Intelligent play. Didn't quite sit for him. Here's Mr. Magic. She cockatoo Collins. Beautiful. And it will be a free kick. Looked to be a bit from the side, but nevertheless, Scott Lucas will take the kick.
Well, John?
Yes.
Look, the fella's entitled to bump the player, so it did look a bit tough. But I've got to turn up to training on Tuesday night, so I've got to be careful what I say.
But I think just with that tackling one, I think that's a great example of why we've got to get this rule right. There are times where a player should be rewarded for a tackle. He's chased and chased and chased Mark Fraser, and in effect, our rules it stands.
And has Scott Lucas young guy from the Geelong under-18s.
As we have a look at this replay and the big bump, I would have thought that was play on. However, just getting back to that rule, as it stands now, that would have been play on because the ball's still free from the severity of the tackle. That's right.
They're certainly the ones that you would think that the football public probably want paid, but the way the rule was last year and will be at the end of the pre-season competitions, it'll revert back to what it was.
Seymour's,
great example.
Sorry, John. Seymour's handball to Dyson. Sydney with about 4 minutes to go to make an impression here. Mark taken by young Marshall, Lee Marshall from the Murray Bush Rangers. He's about 60 metres out. Good kick towards Gray. Gets there now. Has to kick a goal. Handball had a fair bit on it. Snapped round the body by Nix, but not far enough. O'Donnell gets it. Berbakoff. Good name for a racehorse, Berbakoff, I reckon. Out towards centre wing. Tap back by McRae. This has a good ring to it. I know how great horses have got good names. Here goes Garlick. Centering kick. I tell you what, Mahogany doesn't sound as good as it used to. Oh, that's all right. Just missing by Crawford. And the Swans peppering away now. 3-9 to 8-13.
Yeah, we've just left Flemington and we're back at Waverley. And Caracello accepts that and gives it off to Hardwick. Hardwick goes back. That kick has gone back 25 metres.
There is a bit of Fremantle about them, isn't there?
Yes. And now I'll go back to Hardwick. Now he can run if he wishes, but he elects to stop. And so just building up the stats here, the young fellas at the back. Give it out to the captain now. The captain will run. Berbakoff tries to keep the opposition off with a good shepherd, and that's great team play, and ends up with Cransberg. Cransberg chips, kicks, Cockatoo Collins knocks on. Also trying to knock it on there was Bloomfield, and it ends up now with Nix, Matthew Nix, off for these youngsters from the Swans, and the kick forward again, coming across the centre. They really have tried pretty hard here. Garlick unloads. Back to Dyson, sets up Maxfield. Maxfield hooks it back. Oh, it's all Essendon at home. High, I would have thought that was high, but Pryor good enough to recover and repels the attack.
Out towards Bloomfield. Nix at the back. He's looked all right, Nix. Hollins